All right, folks, happy Thanksgiving. I would like to talk today just for a moment of your time, a morsel, must I say, about food and fasting. Okay, let's get into it, right? Food. Food is evil, and I love food. Thanksgiving is when we eat lots of food, and, some nincompoop, including myself, will probably tell you, oh, ho, 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 bulking season or something, and you go, oh, I'm funny because I like fitness and I'm eating a lot of food. So if I call it bulking season, it's okay and it's funny. So win-win. But that's not how fitness is so evil, dude. I'm not saying that exercising is bad. I'm just saying that the fitness on the internet is evil because it is so impossible to figure out what actually works. It takes a lot of information from a lot of different sources. We can talk about that another day, but it's frustrating, man. Especially when you're getting into fitness, and even when you've been in fitness for a while, you're still learning new things about about your diet and workout routine, how to perfectly engage muscle hypertrophy, and it's a mess. But don't we love it, right? Don't we love it? But what I want to talk about is how do we kind of combat the food, and then I'll also talk about fasting. So let's talk about that, right? Christmas is coming up after this, so we're eating a lot in the next, this month, and then basically a month from now. We're eating a lot of food. And what do we do when we're trying to stay in shape and stay healthy when we're eating all that food? There are some options because let's be real, especially if you're the audience I'm imagining you are, which is mostly high school students, including myself. We don't control the food that we eat very much, to a degree, but not all that much. And we're not going to say, hold on, mother and grandma and auntie. I want only meat and a couple of vegetables. I'm going mostly carnivore this Thanksgiving because that would make me a healthier, stronger man. They will piss on your face because they're not going to listen to that. That's not how regular people think, and that is not going to benefit the rest of the family. That's not how that works, right? You're not only going to eat turkey and ham and green beans. That's just not going to happen. So you're going to have to maybe break your diet a little bit, and okay, you don't have to, but you will. Let's be realistic here. You're going to sit at the Thanksgiving table and you're going to go, mashed potatoes, candied yams, gravy, rolls, stuffing. Okay, so you're not actually going to follow along with the diet, and I don't blame you, and nor do I think that you have to, because that's kind of unrealistic, especially if you've been killing your diet recently, when you've been just on point. You've eaten the right amount of calories. It depends on where you are in your journey, right? You've been eating your calorie intake that you want every day. You've been eating the types of foods that you've been wanting every day. And I don't want you to also think that this is just a break. I don't want you to get comfortable with that. I want you to understand that you can and should take breaks because that's how life works. You can't be 100% all the time. But you should be 100% of the time you can be 100%. Right? Does that make any sense? You should feel a little bit guilty. I don't want to take the guilt away from you, but you should utilize it. So you should feel like, okay, I ate Thanksgiving meal today, and now you have to make a plan of how. I mean, there will be leftovers. It's Thanksgiving, but where are we going from here, right? So now you got to plan out from the time before you eat the meal, because you can't think after you eat Thanksgiving meal. You are twice the body weight that you were before, but before that all happens, you need to kind of realize, what is our plan of action after this, right? Am I eating leftovers tomorrow? If so, what leftovers? And at what time? And before or after my workout, right? We actually do need to think these things through because as much as it's like a little extra thinking energy, mental energy, it's important. This is how we stay healthy. This is how we stay driven as young men and individuals on self-improvement. So this is where we get into the second point, fasting. Fasting is, unfortunately, like one of the greatest hacks, one of the greatest tools one can use in the modern day to outwork competition in any given situation. Any given situation. It's unbelievable how much being fasted actually benefits you. And it's really frustrating because I personally really enjoy food. And I have a fast metabolism, so I'm hungry a lot. But nonetheless, fasting is still one of, if not the greatest, tools you can use in your work and even in your play. All right, so let's talk about that. Thanksgiving Day. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm not eating until dinner the whole day. In fact, just to make sure that I'm actually utilizing the fast, I'm waking up at a good time. I'm waking up at like 6 or 7. It depends. I'm actually staying over at my grandma's tonight, so we'll see, right? But whenever I wake up, I'm not eating. I'm drinking water. I'm not eating. It's not happening. I do not dare touch food before that glorious meal that we call Thanksgiving. I'm not doing it, okay? But I will drink water, lots of water. I'm putting salt in that water. I'm putting lemon in that water, or lemon or lime, because it kind of spreads. I don't know the science behind it. Let me just tell you, that is the best remedy to start your day off with possible. Like, it's just unbelievable how good that is for you. Is you put mineral salt in your water and squeeze like a quarter of a lime in there. It sucks, but it is so good for you and your brain. It clears up your head so much. It's really difficult to get a headache if you've chugged that first thing in the morning. I'm not eating the rest of the day. While I'm not eating, I am working. I'm probably going to be doing some schoolwork or reading, or I might even be working out. We'll see. But nonetheless, I'm working. Why? Because when you are hungry, you are driven. That's how science works. When you are hungry, you're driven. Because in the past days, the days that I really wish I lived in, because life would have been full of a lot less busy work, like school, and I would have spent more time doing awesome things like beating people's heads in with clubs. Back in those days, what was our work? It was eating. We would go find food. But you're not going to find food if you just ate, because you are not hungry. So that is the simple explanation for why being hungry makes us work better, is because we are driven. Our biggest driver is food, because that's how we stay alive as organisms. So the less you eat, the more driven you are. There you go. All right. More importantly, the less you're digesting. That's why the less meals you eat in a day, the better. Because even if you eat breakfast first thing in the day, it doesn't matter if you fast for 5 hours after eating breakfast. You're digesting for most, if not the whole time during that, to some degree. So after Thanksgiving, definitely double down on that fasting for sure. Allow yourself to hit some cardio, please. I beg of you, please play some basketball, play some soccer, run some miles, do a Murph. You need to burn that off, okay? And it's not too extreme where it's like bad things will happen if you don't burn it off, but cardio and fasting. That's all I'm gonna say, right? If you're worried about how your body's gonna react to all that wonderful goodness, that's your solution: cardio and fasting. Make it happen. At the same time, preferably first thing in the morning for about an hour. The cardio part. The fasting should last you until past 12, past 1, past 2, around there. It's just about 2 o'clock and I haven't eaten yet today, and I feel great. I feel awesome. But as soon as I'm done recording these videos, I'm eating, okay? It's time. This is my hard work for today, and I'm done. So, there you go. I thought that'd be kind of helpful and kind of neat to talk about. Fasting is hard. I'm really new to this. It's difficult. But I also think it'll become habit, and I would like to eventually push to more like maybe not one meal a day, one chunk of time for eating at the end of the day. So not really eat most of the day until maybe like 4 or 5 o'clock. And then from there on until I go to bed, like I'm allowed to eat, not necessarily whatever, but as much as I want. Does that make sense? So eat the good food, but as much of it as I want, because I gotta stock up for tomorrow. So there you go. Hope you have a good day, brother. Keep at it. Keep at your goals.